Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Out on the edge of the battle and back, we've carried the weight and we've walked every track. From desert dust to the fire at home, we've learned how to fight, how to stand alone. But no one tells you what comes after the war. When silence is louder than the guns we bore, that's where we speak, that's where we heal. Stories too real for Hollywood reels. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see. We're warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. It ain't all medals and waving flags. There's pain in the silence and weight in the bags. But we've got a mic and a mission to share, to tell the damn truth, cause somebody's gotta care. We laugh, we cry, we cuss, we pray. We honor the ones who ain't here today. From basic to battle and back to the block. This is our rhythm, our round table talk. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see. We're warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. Still heavy in dreams out of reach. For the lessons the textbooks could never teach. We're sounding off, no filter, no prep. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. So if you're born with boots or love someone who did, if you swallowed your hurt and kept it all hid, pull up a chair, you're not alone. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, where courage meets scars and raw honesty. This is our anthem, our truth intercept. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. For the ones still standing and those we've lost yet, for every single story we'll never forget. We speak so others won't forget. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. Real talk, real vets, real life. HomeFront Sitrep podcast, where the mission continues.
Welcome, everybody, to a Sunday edition of HomeFront Sitrep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Still sore. Let's just say that. Still sore.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
No, man, I'm relaxed. I'm refreshed. Got a whole new outlook and path for this next year and beyond. This is something that I should have done a long time ago, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do what we did. And that Damon gave us that invite last time we had him on the show, and now we get to talk about our experience with SOF Missions and what they're doing, what they did for us, and man, what they can do for so many others that are out there listening or watching.
Yeah, for sure. So we didn't have episodes last Sunday, Monday, because Gunny and we went down to Tampa to SOF Missions for the clinic down there, and I am sore still as well. Granted, it was a great time. And I don't think I've recovered sleep wise. Like, I've been very exhausted from being down there, but I'm also like you. Like, the day I got home, my youngest child and my wife was here, and we just sat down and had a really, really great conversation. And I opened up more than I ever had, like when it comes to certain things. And man, I just don't know. Like, me and you, the night we graduated on Sunday, me and you had a really, really great conversation there in the room. as we were packing up and stuff. And man, coming home and then talking to your wife and child. And I'm not a very emotional guy. Like I don't cry very often. Like it takes a lot to get me to that point. But for me to be here talking with my wife and kids and man, the floodgates just opened up and they've seen a different person, since I came back from SOF Missions, and, if you don't know what SOF Missions is, it's Shield of Faith Missions. It's a faith-based organization out of Tampa, and we're gonna bring Damon up here in just a minute because I'm super excited to share our joint experience,
Yeah.
and then, talk about SOF Missions while we were there because we built a bond with all the other warriors that were there, and I'm wearing the shirt here because it says warrior. Um, Chris, welcome in, brother. How are you, Steve-O? Welcome in. Mama Chicken, if you're still in there, welcome in as well. And we'll say a big shout out to everybody on TikTok too as well. Um, but our shared experience down there, just you and I, um, and then plus the other warriors that were there in the clinic with us, and not saying any names, but some of the stories that were shared, you know, one guy in particular was like, man, I only have two people that I can trust in my circle. And the night we left, when we did graduation, he's like, now I got this many people in my circle. And it's man, it's so powerful. And if you haven't checked out SOF Missions, go to sofmissions.org, check them out. And man, I just didn't think. All right, so I'm gonna be honest. When we first talked about a faith-based organization, one in particular came to mind. It's a big one. It's all over the place. Um, when I went out there as an organization with the nonprofit that I was with, the way the retreat was ran on a scale of 1 to 10 compared to SOF Missions is a 0. And I just from that organization there, I didn't get anything from. Even though I was out there as a kind of team leader because of our nonprofit that was out there and the veterans that we took out there, um, I just didn't feel like I could open up and be myself with this organization out there in Texas. But when we went down here to Tampa, bro, it was a whole different atmosphere.
Yeah.
I was able to be myself. Um, so yeah, man, it was just powerful. It was just so powerful. And I mean, when we left, that little check-in or the survey out, it's like, would you want to come back as a peer mentor? I was like, yep. I checked it right away. I was like, yep, no doubt. If they asked me to come back as a peer mentor, I would, even a volunteer. I would do it even as a volunteer. I'd go back.
Yeah.
Um, so it was just that powerful. And I any veteran that I've known that could utilize what SOF Missions is doing, I've reached out to him, said, "Hey man, you need to check this out. You need to check this out. I think this would be a great fit for you. Let me know if you're interested." And I told him, I said, "I'm gonna be checking back in with you next week. And if you are interested, we're gonna get you signed up and applied, and I'm gonna um, reach out to him, say, hey, this is my guy. He really could use SOF Mission." So I'm super excited. So, but that's enough of me bumping my gums. You got anything else you want to bump your gums on before we bring Damon up?
No, man. I mean, going in not knowing what to expect. Damon told us a little bit, right? Because you don't want to tell everything. You don't want to go too much, and you don't want to set the expectations way up here, and then you get there and it's here. So he set the expectations. Last time he was on the show at a nice level playing field, and we get there and it's just from day one. You feel welcome, you feel loved, you feel appreciated, you truly feel like everybody that's there, to include the volunteers, the people that are coming in to help with some of the the massage and some of that stuff, that they want to be there, that they want to help. It's not, hey, I'm getting a paycheck and I'm here. They truly believe in the mission. They truly believe in supporting the warfighter. And I say warfighter, you know, the first responders and you know, police officers and everybody too. But they truly believe in the warrior ethos that SOF Missions has put forth. And dude, that they're drinking the Kool-Aid and it's good. And I'm telling you, the Kool-Aid's really good.
Yeah.
You know, and then and it shows how small the world is. You know, you and I shared a story on the way down of my last trip to Haiti in 2004. And we get there, and the spiritual mentor is the dude. And you know, what I mean, you can't find this out anymore, you know. I mean,
it was like it was meant
when
to
you
be.
when you stay in the military for any given time, eventually you're going to run into people that you have served with or, you know, cross path with or whatever. But, you know, when I'm sitting there telling you a story about this lieutenant that went in the poo, and then come to find out it's the spiritual mentor, we're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. And, you know, obviously, you know, like we talk about it all the time, our experiences are different, even though we were there at the same time. What I saw happen and what he said happened and what he experienced, because he was the one in the poo, are two different things, right? So we're both, you know, sucking the same mud. Yes, Julie, I'm thinking about the poo story. We're both, you know, sucking in the same dust and seeing the same things happen from different angles. But, you know, if his radio man just would have followed him in the poo, they would have been fine. But the radio man decided not to.
Well, I mean, smart on the radio man for not wanting to get in the poo.
Well, I think he was in it and realized what it was, and he backpedaled, and the lieutenant kept going. But it's funny, right? Because he'd only told that story to so many people, and there's no way that that's getting back to me, right?
Right.
Because we don't run in the same circles. And then, you know, for me to tell you about that on our way down, not knowing, you know, anybody that was going to be at the event. And then I overhear him saying that he was enlisted infantry, went and became an officer and went to combat engineers. And then, you know, towards the end, I think was it day 1 or day 2? I'm like, so who are you with in the infantry? And everything was Hawaiian units, right?
Yeah.
And then he said, but in 2004, I was attached to 3-8. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Where? And he said, Haiti. I'm like, hey, do you remember? And he's like, that was me. I was like, oh yeah, well, that was me that caused the event that made you go in the poo. But anyway, I mean, it was great. And, you know, we had a lot of laughs around that the entire weekend. And then you being a picky eater and wanting nothing but dang chicky nuggies and, you know, dino nuggets and French fries. So, you know, everybody's trying to find Willis some food because he's picky.
No. There was food that I could eat, just not the majority of the food that was down there.
Well, and so when they ask if you have any restrictions, don't say no. If you're not going to eat fish and you're not going to eat beans, you need to let them know, hey, I do not eat this. It's still a restriction for you.
So when I'm thinking restrictions, I'm thinking like allergies and stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of because
you didn't get a kid cuisine delivered with some dino nuggies and some friggin' mac and cheese and some of that nasty pudding. And then we go out and play golf, and you're chucking clubs 20 yards down the field.
Hey. That was, you know why that happened.
So blame it on, I got a massage and it was sweaty. I'm sitting here and I hear a nice hit, boom. And then I hear, and I look over and I see nothing but your club just sailing. And then I get called a liar after I said I was nailing them. I get called a liar because you're the one that threw the club, not me. I was smacking it. Matter of fact, I think I'm the only one that hit the cart that picks up the golf balls too.
You were the only one that hit the golf cart or the golf ball retriever cart. So, but and
then one guy tries to give me a high five. I'm like, no, it's not no good. That's not good. He's watching. Not high five. Not high five.
That's what you want to do every time though when you're on the driving range. You want to.
I apologize to the guy as he goes by. And then I look and make sure he's not looking. I'm like, all right, now we high five. You know, you don't do it in front of the guy because then it looks like I tried to do it.
Well, everybody that goes to the driving range tries to. So I think they know it's going to happen. So,
all right. Well, he did not appreciate it because he got off of it real quick and then jumped in another golf cart and left, and we never saw him the rest of the night.
Well, everybody was slicing to the right anyway, pretty much. So,
well, he was straight in front of me, so I didn't slice anything.
All right, let's bring up our Marine brother, Mr. Dr. Damon here. Let's bring him up to the stage.
Yep.
All right, sir. How are you?
Well. You two are a bunch of comedians. I'm in the backstage, just listening to y'all, bumping your gums. It's funny. I'm glad both of you guys are sore. I'm glad both. That means that both of you guys actually worked. And you know what? For all of you people out there who are listening, I know as a fact that Willis tossed that golf club, man, because he was so upset. And then he started blaming massage oil or whatever. He's like, it's like, what's that movie?
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore,
man.
Yeah.
That's part 3 now with Willis, starting Willis, bro. Thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Well, yeah, thanks for coming back on and taking the time, and especially being so close to the last retreat. And I guess it's been a little over 6 months since we had you on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So hey, for all of you guys out there, these guys had me on the show. I told them about SOF Missions, and I challenged both of them to come. The reality is that we've got how many millions of veterans in the United States? 18.8. We got numbers from 18.8 to 20 million. So I always say 20 million, but you got people who are listening on your show all the time who are trying to figure out like, hey, what does hope look like? How can I get help? You have all these other issues too. And I think you guys are a lot more informed now. SOF Missions doesn't just address PTSD, but mild traumatic brain injury, which is synonymous with concussion.
Yeah.
We deal with moral injury, which is a spiritual, injury. I remember it was described as a blunt trauma to the soul. We deal with insomnia. How many of us guys don't sleep really well? Reality is, well, now Willis knows why he ain't sleeping well. Yeah. All right. And what he's got to do, because we presented him the 10 commandments of sleep. And then we did all sorts of other stuff. We really dealt with chronic pain. I know you guys had some issues going on there.
Yes, sir.
And then chronic stress and everything else. And the reason why these boys are so sore is because we have a human performance arm. We really believe that physical fitness is a cornerstone of everybody's, like every veteran's life. It's just the bottom line. It's what we did in the military. Do you remember all those PT tests? Come on, man. We hated them, but at the end of the day, it kept us like locked in. And we always took pride when we went out there, and so I think sometimes we kind of lose that when we get out into the civilian world, and making sure that you're eating well, you're sleeping well, you're training, you're working out. So good for the mind, the body, and the soul. So anyway, that's what these two cats just went to. And I'm really excited just to hear their thoughts about, what it's all about as they're sharing it with everyone out there.
Yeah, man, I tell you, it was amazing. I mean, outside of the personal connections that we made, just some of the things that we learned. And if you're going through, therapies or counselings, or you attend a spiritual retreat, they touch on a little bit of what you guys are solely focusing on, right? And it's those 4 pillars. And when you go to the spiritual one, that's all they focus on is the spiritual side. And then when I came down to Tampa, it was your physical, your psychological, your social, right? Your social circle, and how that makes you feel, and how it can bring you down if you don't have the proper people, and you're not connecting with a right group of people. And then you go to the spiritual side, and we broke free on the spiritual side every night, right? We had a spiritual session every single night, and it became more of us leading the conversation and starting the conversation, and then our spiritual mentor guiding us, through. And we were fortunate enough that we had somebody who's a preacher, a pastor in our group as well, who also touched into that and brought in Bible verses that correlated to what we were talking about and how we were feeling. So I mean, it was just amazing, going through and staying up. And I mean, the schedule said 8:30. And I think one night we were in there until 10 talking, right? Because it's just us letting our stuff out. It's us being vulnerable with the other, 11, 12, 13 people that are in the room at the time. And all of us as service member or first responders are always told, don't show your emotions. If you show it, you're a B, as one of the guys was saying all week long. And But at the end of the day, it's not, because the longer and longer you hold it in, the more that demon eats at you, and then it comes out in the wrong way. And going through those spiritual sessions at the end of the day helped us realize that there are healthy ways to let those demons go. And one of them was the morning PT session, right? And then pushing through and going above and beyond what you normally do on a regular day, or getting up early, or eating a second breakfast. I eat second breakfast every day now. I don't know anybody else that comes out of there, but every day, second breakfast. But, and I've started working out here again at the house. Matter of fact, I just got the update from Chris for this week's workouts that's already downloaded into the app. So back at it again tomorrow morning, and I'm taking my 15-year-old down with me, and we're doing that session together.
Heck yeah.
I want to kind of share some thoughts on what you said. So let's just, you shared something about the spiritual component. So, humans are made of mind, body, and soul. We're made to commune. Probably 5% of the population would disagree with the spiritual piece, but that's on them. Okay. So 95% of the whole world believes that there's something out there. We're spiritual beings. And we have come to terms that there's, our designer and creator is God. And the reality is that when we have these conversations, we really package them so that we can freely commune, like we can freely connect, we can freely talk about things that are on our hearts, and it's not religious in any nature. It's very important that people understand that we're not I don't feel like I'm a religious person. I believe that I have a strong relationship with Jesus, and he's not just my king. He's not just my Lord. He's not just my savior. He's not just the Christ. He's the warrior of warriors. He's my commander. And so that really resonates with all of us. When we joined the Marine Corps, right, we raised up our right hand, we took an oath, and then the Marine Corps owned us. Well, it's pretty much the same. If you just think about it, the way that the Marine Corps broke you down and then build you right back up, you became a war machine. Like, it doesn't matter what you did in the Marine Corps. Every Marine is a rifleman. Every Marine knows how to patrol. Every Marine knows how to shoot. Every Marine knows how to close with and destroy the enemy. And the reality is that it's very similar when we become people of faith. We start following Jesus, the commander. I remember taking my oath. I remember raising my right hand and saying, all right, I'm yours forever. And God has been breaking me down and building me back up, very much like the way that things happened this last week. If you just think about it, we just kind of wore out some things. Like we kept working on things, right? And it was not just spiritual, it was psychological, it was social, it was physical, it was cognitive. And, so with that being said, I think that the spiritual conversations are kind of a safe space because of the way that we package it and the way that we allow people just to communicate, where people can have, different thoughts, ideas, reflections. They can disagree, but that's okay. We're here to have a conversation like everything else. So I really appreciate you sharing that. And Nate Roberts did a phenomenal job. And so it looks like Steppin' and Pooh helped him out ultimately as he navigated his way through life.
Oh, you called him out. We wasn't going to say his name, but you called him out.
Hey, I love him. Okay, why not? I mean, the guy did an awesome job. Hey, listen, can I just ask you a question? Are you telling me you never patrol and stepped in poop? Come on now.
Oh, I've numerous times.
All right, then you know what? Then it's okay because we've all stepped on poop, bro. Okay.
Yeah, but he was neck deep in it.
You know what?
He did just step
sometimes we go deeper than the rest. I mean, that's the way Nate does it, man. He's all in, baby.
For sure. For sure.
So here's my take on this weekend. Like I said, like Gunny said, when you set the bar on the original episode where we had you on here, right? And I'm going to give Rich LaMonica a big shout out because he's the one that introduced us to you.
Right on. Yo, what's up, Rich? Thanks a lot.
He's the one that introduced us, and so we had you on the show, and you set the bar. Like, you didn't tell us a whole lot of anything that was going to happen while we were down there. So like I said, I knew you were a faith-based organization, and like I said, I had already went to one, and I didn't know what to expect, right? So we get there on Wednesday, we check in with everybody while we're there, and then we get busy on Thursday, right? And we're just cranking away at things that, with the classes and everything, and man, I was like, man, this is so much better. And like Gunny said, he stated the best. The whole staff that we were introduced to made us feel welcome, made us feel like we were wanted.
I don't know. Elizabeth soloed me out from minute one for some reason, and did it through the entire weekend. And then I'm like, am I known as the guy that's going to be late? And I'm like, no, wait, I'm never late. What is going on?
Were you late?
No,
What
never.
happened? What?
I guess I was just sitting there, and I had this look on my face. She's like, "You better be on time." I'm like, "Me?"
That's so funny.
So I set an alarm for every single session.
You did.
With where I had to be, because I didn't want her coming after me.
Yeah, for those of you out there, man, Elizabeth is the director of operations, and she is a frightening human being.
Yes.
You know, pretty blonde woman, 6. I mean, I think she's 5'11". I call her 6 foot. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, former law enforcement officer. I mean, if looks could kill, then she could do it, man. I'm telling you. That's why I hired her. And she's super smart. Super smart.
Yeah. Out of the 12 guys, she honed in on me. I'm like, really?
That's funny. I did tell her that you two, might have been a handful. So maybe she just was like making sure that you knew that if you messed around, the ninja was going to come and choke you out.
Well, she threatened it.
She did threaten it. So like I was saying, man, got down there. I didn't know what to expect. And then, the staff was so welcoming. Even the physical trainer, Chris May, everybody was just like, man, we're so glad you're here, and so day one, we get to spiritual, the spiritual part of things. And it's just like, all right, so here I'm thinking, oh, they're going to, open up a Bible and start bumping verses at us. No, that didn't happen. And the Band-Aid got ripped really quickly because normally he works up to suicide. Well, day one, that Band-Aid got ripped right open.
That was the first discussion.
Yeah, it was the first discussion. And I think that set the tone for all the spiritual sessions after that, which was amazing because, like I said, there was one guy in the class that was holding on to so much trauma. His brother called him the night before and then wound up committing suicide that night. Well, this guy didn't answer the phone call, so he's holding that trauma. And we had to realize probably nothing he could have said or done would have saved his brother's life. Because once you make that decision to do that, you pretty much set in stone. Now there are the rare occasions where you can talk to somebody and talk them out of it. But for the most part, once you get to that point, there's nothing you can do. So he's been holding on to that trauma the whole time. And it's just
guilt.
And the guilt of it, and it's just like, bro, so much stuff is going on that just overall, I can tell you right now, like I said at the beginning, on a scale of 1 to 10 between this organization and this organization, your organization, this one was a 0. Yours was probably about a 15 because it was just so much packed in there with, Dr. Piazza and Megan and Nate and, the chiropractor, the massage therapist, the mental health counselor that was there. Everybody was just so genuine, even down to the FDVA guys, the Florida Department of Veteran Affairs guys that were there. Carmelo, he was amazing. I've actually reached out to him and said, hey, this is what I want to do, because I know sleep apnea is going away. So I was like, I need to get this tied with this. And so we're working on getting that stuff tied together. I didn't even think about it because I got a VSO back here that didn't even say, hey, let's do that, because they're not as knowledgeable as the FDVA guys that you had down there with Carmelo and Stacy. I believe Stacy was the other guy's name. And it was just like, dude, top notch, top tier organization. I can't say enough. And I'm going to keep saying your praise until I can't say it anymore. Let's just put it that way.
Well, you start off by kind of sharing like what day one looks like. and it got heavy really quick. I'm going to tell you that I've been super blessed in going to lots of different programs because of my injuries, predominantly mild traumatic brain injury, synonymous with concussions. I've had multiple MTBIs, and it really messed me up. And so I've gone through what we call the invisible wound, what do you call these? I'm losing my mind here. There's special institutions for a special operations community.
The Intrepid.
Yeah, the Intrepids. Yeah, I'm losing my mind here. And I was just thinking about the Invisible Wounds Clinic. I've been I was there twice over at Eggland, and I was also over at Prep, and I was there for 3 months. And, there are a lot of really great physicians that have taken care of me. The biggest problem that I ran into is that I was away from my unit for so long. And the reality is that a lot of people don't have that kind of time. So what I did was I compressed it. I figured, you know what? I mean, just think about it. There was rarely an hour where you're not doing anything. Every hour you were in a new office, talking to a new practitioner, talking about a new subject. We're analyzing you. We're gathering data. Everything is the Mayo Clinic model where all the practitioners and all the services are wrapped around the actual patient. And so I've realized that I only got really 5 days. That's all I got. We capitalize on the weekends. So for all of you out there, it is 5 days, but not Monday through Friday. And a lot of times we're doing this when there's holidays. Could be with family, but the bottom line is if you're not good to yourself, how can you be good to others? So we're packing it all in 5 days. And you know what? I made a command decision right off the bat. Where the majority of the guys and gals that go through the program, the majority strong. I mean, I can't say all, but 8, 9 out of every 10 are they struggle with suicidal ideations. They do. And so why is it that we're going to take so many days to finally get to the point when in all reality, why is everyone there? Well, our whole service is about combating the suicide epidemic. So how do I do that? Well, you know what? I'm going to fix whatever's broken or I'm fix that whatever's wrong. And I don't have a lot of time. And so since medical care is very rare in the veteran space, and you would think it would be more prevalent considering the over 20 veterans take their lives every single day, you think that medical care would be more prevalent instead of all sorts of other social reintegration camps and things like and retreats, which I mean, I applaud them, but there's, I think, too many of those and not enough actually doing the medical care because we have so many millions of veterans and they need it. You guys were able to experience high-end, high-level medical care that only NFL athletes or people of great wealth. So for us, we only got 5 days. So we're introducing the subject, and we probably put in over $1 million of resources and monies into that film that you saw. And we saw it's called Surrender Only to One. I had the honor to produce it, to be an executive producer and also an assistant director with Dwight Thompson. He's pretty well known for doing great documentaries. And we just decided, let's just get to business. Let's talk about these different individuals having a journey and what does it mean for them to get to this dark, dark place where they would legitimately consider taking their lives. And how, if we can capture that, but more importantly, how all of a sudden each and every one of those guys, and a gal, all of a sudden in the middle of the kill zone when the enemy is trying, is ambushing them, they're extracted out. That God, the commander of the universe, launches the greatest quick reaction force in all the world, and Jesus is leading as the greatest warrior and commander. It's like, it's and the way that I've always seen it is that, there's good and there's evil. And the reality is the only evil that people see is what people see. But you and I, we sit down and we talk about there's the enemy's always working spiritually. And the fact of the matter is that first night we decided that we were going to hit the heart. We were going to hit it hard because, we wanted to kind of tear those whatever protection shields all you guys come on in with. Everybody's guarding guarding themselves. They don't know what's going on. They're being introduced to all these other weird veterans, right? Only to find out that regardless, man, somewhere in the Marine Corps, somewhere in the Army, somewhere in the Navy, somebody might be black, somebody might be white, somebody might be tall, somebody might be short. And it's kind of funny because we're right back in the military where we just see each other as just people and each and every one of them is just like us. You know what I'm saying, man? And so that's what I think was really important. But yeah, I'm glad that we do it. Every once in a while, somebody gets triggered and, they got to take a step outside. That's okay. It's okay. but we're trying to get to the heart of things. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's the only way for healing to happen is if you get down to the root cause, the heart of things.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, you guys, the staff that was on site, they were very, very attentive to everybody's triggers. Like if they saw something, they kind of paid attention to it just to make sure that nobody was to that point where they were triggered to the point where they needed to have that escape, which was amazing because a lot of healing took place in those 5 days that we were there. And like you said, we were from the moment we woke up, we were busy. Like we got over there at 7:30 in the morning, and 7:55 we were on the bus going up to the gym for a workout session. Come back from there, second breakfast, shower, and then boom, classes start at 10 a.m. sharp. And it was just constant movement. And then at the end of the night, you eat dinner, then you go into spiritual. And then, like Gunny said, there was one night we were in there till 10 o'clock, just sitting there, talking with Nate and just relaxing and being ourselves. Because even back home, I can tell you, my wife will tell you that 23 years together, she probably hasn't heard everything about me that some of the guys down there did. And it's just you could open up and you could be yourself. For 1 year around a lot of like-minded individuals, people that have walked that walk, even though it might be different from my walk or Gunny's walk or your walk, but we're all still very like-minded, and we felt very, very comfortable with each other. Now, after spiritual, I don't normally go to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 to 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm back up. After spiritual, it was like, all right, go back, take a shower, hit the rack. First night I slept really, really great. The other 2 nights, I was up at 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and it's just like, I don't know what's going on here, but man, it was amazing. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Well, I'm glad that you guys had such a great time. I'm wondering, out of all the stuff, the 5 days that you guys went through, and just for everybody out there, just to kind of capture kind of like the details, they get to see psychologists, they get to see, it depends on the individuals because we do concierge, psychologists, social workers, they get to see some psychiatrists, just depending on their profile, physical therapists, acupuncturists, massage therapy. They get to mess with all sorts of chronic pain machines, the Interacs and all this other stuff, and then other machines that are that kind of work with depression or anxiety and things like that for those that struggle with some of that and with their psychological components. But we've got everything, and then we said massage therapy, and we've got NHL, Tampa Bay Lightning physical therapists coming. Our massage therapists are from the Tampa Bay Bucks, and cognitive. I mean, your head physician was Dr. Tom Piazza. He was the Air Force One physician, and he was also the medical director and founder of the Intrepid Center over at Eglin. So, I mean, you're getting to see like the number one dude, right? Yeah, so you're not seeing second-rate people, man. You're seeing, the best. So, and that happens for 5 days, and by the 5th day, we figure out, what's going on in each and every person's life. And then we provide a follow-on care plan. So it doesn't just stop in 5 days. Like, both Samuel and Willis, they have follow-on care plans that our healthcare team provided and recommended, and they get to follow that for the next year. We get to pay for it. And the coolest part about it is, I'm going to tell you something, Willis. The coolest part about what we do is that when somebody's hurting, man, I could just say, let me help you. I don't have to say, I know a guy, let me give him a text. All right, he said that he'll take care of you. You never know what happens, but I get to say, hey, come. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about that. Just put your pocketbook down, bro. I don't want that. What I want is your heart fully devoted to making the best version of yourself for the sake of you, for the sake of your family, for the sake of your future, for the sake of God, who has predestined you to do great things in this world. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, when I got back home and I was sitting in there with the wife and my youngest child, because my oldest is at college right now.
Oh yeah.
And I looked at my youngest child and I just told her, I said, "Hey, I'm sorry for everything that dad has put you through."
Hmm.
Because I know, and like I told her, I said, "I have so much going on in my head that I don't think I've been a great father to you or a great dad to you."
Hmm.
And she goes, "What do you mean?" I said "Dad's quick to anger." I said, I if you do something, that you're not supposed to do, and I yell at you, I'm sorry for that." I said, "That's just the way my brain was working at that time." And, you know, here we are 5 days removed from being there, and I haven't yelled at her one time since I've been home. And I would kiss her goodnight every night, and I tell her goodbye in the morning when I go to work and stuff. And, it's just that right there was a burden that was lifted off my shoulders, because I was able to tell her that I was sorry for the way that I have been her whole life. Um, and it's just amazing feeling to have that burden lifted off my shoulders. Now, my oldest daughter will be home, I think this weekend coming up. So I get to talk to her and tell her the same thing. So, and then also with my wife, I was like, "Look, babe, I haven't been the greatest husband. My anxiety takes over. And the aftercare, you were talking about that. So when we get with Megan, or yeah, Megan's going to be the one giving us a call and giving us our aftercare plan. Um, Hopefully, I can work on myself on being a better husband and father. That was one of the major things that I took away from being down there, especially the spiritual side of things, and dealing and living with trauma. That was one of the classes that we had, was living with trauma. And man, it was just so powerful to finally realize that's what's going on here. Here, man, I love my kids to death. I would die for them, just like I would with Gunny and just like I would with you. You guys are my brothers, but my family, dude, I would give my life for them. And for me to realize, hey, you haven't been the greatest father that you could be. Mm, I can't say much more. I mean, yeah.
Man, I know how you feel, bro, because I've had that conversation with my kids, man. You know, I served 20 years. I started in 2000. I finished off in 2020, and I got out for the sake of my soul, bro. I mean, 2001, 9/11 happens. I'm part of the invasion. 2003, multiple deployments, Iraq, Afghanistan, you know, just killing, bro. Then you come back, and then you bring the war home. Man, I gave my best years to my country, man. Man,
Yeah.
every time I think about it, I start crying, man. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I had no idea when I joined the Corps, bro. I didn't know what it was gonna do to me. I just know I was some poor kid from downtown Los Angeles, and I just wanted to be somebody. I want to be part of something big, man. You know,
Mm,
I didn't want my
yeah.
old man to push me around anymore. You know, I wanted to be a
Yeah.
man, right? So I joined the Corps, and you know what? I remember, on that parade deck, man, marching with my rifle, M16A2. I mean, look at that forearm right there, bro. That's from the Marine Corps, baby.
Hell
Holding
yeah.
that rifle, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And I
sir.
remember that. I had no idea what was going to happen, even when they brainwashed us and we were just devil dogs. Man, war
Mm,
does something to a man. It's one thing to play war, shoot at those green little, those little targets, and then it's different, man, when you're looking at a real human being, man. And you know what? Whether you pull the trigger or you help the guy who pulled the trigger, or you provide the intel for the guy who pulled the trigger, or if you're in the aircraft, providing the pod for the guy the trigger, like, man, everybody suffers, man. You
yeah.
know, and it's weird because trauma is processed so differently, from different people. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And man, I've talked to my daughter. My daughter doesn't remember much. She just thinks I'm just the greatest dad in the world. I love her, man. My son, he remembers, me not being the very best. But here's the cool thing. The cool thing is that God is in the business of not just radically and transforming lives, but he's in the business of just cleaning the mess, bro.
Yeah.
Cleaning the mess. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
He's so good because he has this love that is just so enduring, man. It's so overwhelming. It's so consuming, man. And God uses this powerful weapon, as love. You know what I'm saying, man? It heals all things, man. You know what I mean? So it's great. It's strength to go and talk to your kids like that, man. And you know what? It's just a good thing, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, my daughter was like, Dad, you've been a great dad. I'm like, no, I could have been better. But like you said, the good Lord, like we go to church now. My wife and kids go every Sunday. I go every other Sunday. I'm because I didn't believe in. I don't have to go to church to believe in the Lord. That's what how I am. So when the wife and I got together, I was like, hey, look, I'll go to church every other weekend. Now, if there's a holiday, then I might go 2 to 2, back to back. But for the most part, I go every other Sunday, and it's just it's hard to explain. Your kids don't see no fault. They don't see any fault that you could do or your wife could do. Now, granted, you'll have your arguments and stuff like that, but in especially your daughter's eyes, I don't have sons, so I can't talk on that. Gunny could probably talk on that. In your daughter's eyes, a father could do no wrong. For me to open up and tell my daughter, hey, I haven't been the best dad ever, but I'm going to work on it. That's my promise to you, that I'm going to work on it. Dude, she started bawling, and then I started bawling, and it's just like, yeah, I got to do this for my kids. I mean, they're 17 and getting ready to be 19. Both of them are getting ready to be out of the house. I almost feel like it's too late, but the good Lord is saying, hey, do it now, and that's all I can do is hope and pray that I didn't damage them too much from my stuff.
The only time it's too late is when you're no longer here to say anything to
them. Preach it, brother. Yeah. So what about you, Samuel Deeds?
I tell you, my pack is a lot lighter after attending last weekend.
I like that.
I've been carrying some very, very heavy things, and some of them, and I knew that it wasn't my fault, right? I wasn't in country. Heck, I wasn't even in the infantry anymore when the events happened. But there's one family that holds me fully responsible for the death of their loved one, and I'm like, no. I've been told, don't visit the grave, don't ever come back here. He's 10 minutes from my house. Every Memorial Day and every year on the anniversary, I go pay my respects. If the family's there, I drive by and then I wait for them to leave and then I'll go pay. But, because I don't want to have that confrontation with them. But, after this past weekend, I've been carrying that with me since 2006. Right. Now it's like, there's something else out of my pack. There's something else out of my pack. The death of one of my teammates who I would talk to about not taking his life, and ultimately he ended up doing so. Or a guy that Willis and I served with, I remember his last, it was either Facebook or MySpace. I can't remember. It's been that long.
Oh my goodness.
It was See You on the Other Side. And so many people thought it was from that TV show Lost. And at the end of the day, it wasn't. That was his way of saying goodbye to everybody because he was going to take his life. And I'm like, what if I would have called? Right. And that's been weighing me down for years. And, those things are no longer in that's why I think my shoulders are so big, because I've been carrying that weight for so long. But, that stuff's out of my pack now, and I don't have to carry that with me anymore. And now I can just focus on me. I can focus on my marriage, and then I can focus on the family, because I can't fix my marriage if I'm not fixed. I can't fix the family if myself and the marriage aren't fixed. Right. So my kids are going to be out of the house. Then it's going to be my wife and I. So if I fix, what's with my kids first, it may be too late for the wife, right? So I need to fix that first. Well, second, after I fix myself, and then focus on the family as a whole. And I tell my kids all the time, I'm sorry. It's hard leaving the Marine Corps in the Marine Corps. Serves so many years, and then of course you make it to gunny, and there's these expectations of gunnery sergeants that Hollywood's put out there, not just the Marine Corps, but Hollywood, right? Every movie about a Marine is a gunnery sergeant. I don't know why, but it is, and they're all hard nosed, no BS, and I was like that. Willis will tell you, as a PFC, I was like that as a recruit. And just the higher I got rank, it just got worse. And to leave that in the Marine Corps, and I've been retired now longer than I was in, and that's still part of me. It's still there, and that's something that I need to remove out of the pack, and learn how to be human again. Learn how to be pre-Marine Corps Sam Deeds again, right? But it's going to be hard because it's something that's instilled in you since day one.
Yeah. So there's a comment on TikTok here, Gunny, and I think this is directed towards you. Sam Stratton says, "Never what if, brother. I did it too and have to tell myself it was their choice. I did what I could do."
Yeah, and then and I've known that for years, that there's nothing I could do. But a few of those phone calls, I remember hearing the decocking of a weapon, right? And then having another conversation. And it was never a what if, it was a when. And then that phone call came, and it's like, man, if I would have called, right? So, but yeah, after attending last week, and I say, and it's just, we haven't even been home a week yet. Like, we're not even a week removed from graduation yet, right? Because we didn't start until 8:00. So we still hadn't even graduated at this point last week. All right. So it's going to take time, right? And to apply the things that we learned, the things that we were taught, the things that we were, I guess, emphasized upon us that we already knew, that we have to be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's not here. That's here. And now I have to elevate myself. Right. So, it's just so much. And again, there's a lot of information in a short period of time, but during those recovery times, the half hour, the hour, the 2 hours, whatever it may be, during that recreation time, you have time to process everything that's going on with you individually. Because the only thing we're doing as a group is eating, working out, and spiritual time. Everything else is individual based. And your sessions that you have is based off what you fill out as the person. So if you want to go down here, be honest with yourself, because you can't be honest with anybody else unless you're honest with number one.
Yeah. And that's a good, sorry, Dr. Damon. I was going to say, that's a good point. When you fill out that survey, that questionnaire at the beginning, when you're filling out that application, you have to be honest with yourself. And I feel like a lot of people, when they fill that out, they're not honest with themselves. Because I know there were some questions on there. I'm like, did I? So I had to have my wife look at it with me.
Really?
Yeah, because I will tell you, dude, I can't be honest with myself sometimes.
Is that what it is? You gave her the sheet of paper. You're like, what should I say, honey? It's like,
well, I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? This is how I think about it. What do you think? And she's like, no, you do that all the time, or you do this. So yeah, I had to have her help me out, answer some of the questions, because in the Marine Corps, we're taught,
you play it down.
You play it down. You play it down. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about it. So and like Gunny said, I have to take that out of my pack, because I'm not in the Marine Corps anymore. I have to take that out of my pack. That's hard to do when all you knew when you were growing up was you're going in the military, you're going to military, and then you choose what branch you're going into. And I'm like, man, I'm going into the best branch possible, and that's the Marine Corps. And I started living that life. And then I joined the Marine Corps and went to boot camp and became a Marine, got that EGA under, at the Iwo Jima Memorial there on Paris Island. And man, that was an amazing feeling, getting that EGA for the first time and being called a Marine for the first time. And then, go serve with my brothers, at School of Infantry, then 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines, and then 1st Battalion, 8th Marines. And then getting recalled after 9/11. Bro, it's so hard. It's so hard to get the Marine Corps out of that pack. But that's something that needs to be done.
Well, I think it's it's interesting you sharing your struggles from the past, Sam, and just kind of living with regret. At the end of the day, I've got this saying, and I embraced it. I actually wrote it down because I was really struggling with the past. I said, "Let go of the irreparable past, focus on the invincible future." And then when and one day I was like, with Jesus, okay? So, the reality is we can't change the past. Some of us, as we're getting older. I remember my kid asking me, he's like, how does it feel to be 50 years old? And I'm like, just hearing it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but I really didn't like my 20s. And then I spent 20 years at war. I mean, there were some great memories, but there's a lot of bad memories too. I think the older I get, the more I start remembering later on the good memories, because there was just so much bad stuff that happened. Right. You go through all that time, and how many guys were killed in action or they shot themselves, or they killed themselves. It's like being in this business is so hard. It really is, because I'm constantly hearing people's stories. I ask them sometimes, like, I got it, bro, because it's all I hear about.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, like, once you're free, man, go be free. Don't think about it. Don't be around it. If you know a vet that needs help, send them to SOF Missions. Let us help them. But man, don't worry about that anymore. And the guys that were ever killed, man, living the most fruitful life is the best way to honor them, because they're no longer here. Or the boys that lose their legs or something, like, do these things because they can't do it. You know what I mean? It's really powerful. But I'm glad to hear that, Sam, about that. And I struggle with a lot. It's like constantly I let it go and then it's back. I let it go and it's back. Yeah. I let it go and it's back. But hey, thank God for God, because I lean on him, man. I lean on him. If to be part of this business, trying to convince people to just to come to the clinic. I mean, it's hard for dudes to hear, bro, you need help, come. And I mean, they don't. And when they do, you want to make sure that, you want to hit that target hard. As a JTAC, Joint Terminal Attack Controller, I'm dropping a 2,000-pound bomb so that, we can really make an impact right off the bat. But it's hard. I mean, I hope that you guys both can be a lot more, feel like that rucksack's lighter. But if the bad thoughts come, if the bad dreams come again, if the triggers come, it's okay, because now you know how to recognize the symptom, and then you know what you must do to address that symptom, and then you give your body an opportunity to respond so that you can level out, and then rinse and repeat, right? So just think on that.
Yeah, so we created a group chat with everybody that was down there in our all the warriors that were there, and it hasn't stopped since we got back. Talking about different parts of things that were going on. Some guys are like, man, I never tracked my sleep, but now I can. And that was one of the things that I always had been interested in, because I don't sleep. Like it's hard. it's hard for me to sleep. And if I get woken up, it takes me a little while longer to get back to sleep. And man, being able to track and see, how much deep sleep I get, how much REM sleep I get, how much light sleep I get, how many times a night I'm awake compared to
the movement,
a normal,
just
or the movement.
Weird, isn't it?
There was one day this week, I laid in bed, and then when I woke up in the morning, I looked at it took me 7 minutes, and I went directly to deep sleep. There was no light, there was no REM. It went 7 minutes, and then
that's crazy. I'm so jealous, Sam.
I was like, what the heck? And it was for like 20 minutes too. And then
dude, really? You got 20 minutes in one shot?
Yeah.
Bro.
It was nuts.
Bro, it's messed up.
I'm getting about anywhere between an hour 15 and an hour 30 of deep every night.
That's good, man.
See, I'm jealous because I'm not getting that much deep sleep. I'm getting like 45 minutes tops.
Telling you, that sleep number, man. You increase that head a little bit, you get your setting in there, and
I got a sleep number 2, bro.
See, I've been trying to get the wife. I think she's still watching. Hey,
no, man, listen, sleep number is the way to go. Do you know how long I've had mine? Over 20 years.
I'm probably pushing that.
Yeah, and it's just as good as the day that I got it. All I had to do was replace the top cushion thing.
Yep.
I mean, but dude, you're missing out.
I know.
You're missing out.
I've been telling the wife for a while now.
King, and I put my head up just in that snore position, and that's it. I'm done.
Bro,
but
listen.
I also have a heat pad underneath, and the wife will turn it on when she goes to bed. And I get up there and I shut it off and I get in. The bed's warm. My body doesn't have to regulate to the sheets to get everything warm. So I'm instantly warm and out.
I don't have that fancy one, man. There's no way yours is 20 years old, bro. Because
no, that's an addition. Like we have the sleep number and a pad.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, dude, that's how the new sleep numbers are. But Willis, bro.
No, we have the I8.
You're missing out.
We have.
You're missing out. Listen, this is the last bed that you're ever going to buy.
Yeah.
You're going to die in the bed.
I'm going to tell my wife as soon as I get upstairs, we need to get a sleep number.
I mean, come on. This is crazy.
I've been talking about it for a long time, and she's the banker. She's like, we'll get it one of these days.
No, man, you got to get one. And you know that they offer a really significant discount for veterans.
She says sleep on the couch, Willis.
She says, I'm going to make him sleep on the couch.
Listen, girl, come on, Julie. Be a little kinder to your man. Come on, this guy, he's working hard.
Man.
It's because he's calling her out
sleep. 45 minutes with a deep sleep. The guy's going to die early. Is that what you want, Julie? Come on, get that sleep number bed.
It depends on the insurance plan, I guess.
Man, listen. I mean, it's going to save you some years, Willis. Julie, come on, man, that's mean.
So one of the things that one of the quotes, I forget who said it, but depression is anger without enthusiasm. That really stuck with me while we were there, because man, it's powerful, because I didn't realize how depressed I have been over the years. And to see that it's crazy,
bro. So I want to say something about that. How old are you, Willis?
I'm 47.
And how old are you, Sam?
48.
So we're all kind of, I'm the elder of the group, right? But whatever. You know what was interesting? I think it was Christmas. For the first time, I stopped. Everybody was already asleep for whatever reason. My daughter was sleeping in her room. My son was sleeping in his room. My wife had to close, all the lights were off, and I'm turning all the lights off. I'm securing the house, and then something happened. Something really like surreal. Like all of a sudden, I'm like, time's paused, and I'm just enjoying the time. Like, this is a good Christmas. My daughter's sleeping. My son is sleeping. My wife is sleeping. I think I feel happy. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm saying that is because that's the first time that I ever did that. And so since when I went to the next day, I was reminiscing of that one moment, right? And I thought to myself, that was like beyond being present. You know what I mean? It was at like another level of being present. I was like, I need to do that more. Just pause and just think about like the actual, like what's actually happening and how good that moment is. And I started doing that since December, since Christmas Eve. I was like, just pausing and just thinking, wow, look how beautiful that flower is. And the wind is blowing and the temperature's nice. And you know what? I'm really happy right now. I have my house and my kids are running. It's like, it's a weird thing. Like, but how long did it take for me to actually appreciate that moment, in a hyper way? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense, because my wife will tell you, I don't enjoy Christmas. There's not much holidays that I do enjoy, and a lot of that stems back to 1994 when my brother died of cancer. He was 10 years old. He was 10 years old when he passed away. And I just don't enjoy holidays. And I don't know what it is. Now, granted, I'm happy that I'm here with my wife and my kids, and then I get to go see, my mom and my sisters and my nieces and nephew, and then Julie's mom and her sister and niece and nephew on that side. I'm grateful and I'm excited to be there, but then I'm not excited to be there because I just don't. I can't enjoy it, and I need to figure out what that is. There's some mental block that is blocking that, and I know they recommended ART for me. So once we get that set up here, hopefully I can start enjoying what life I do have left. Is something that I'm hoping for, because when I'm miserable, unfortunately, my wife and kids are miserable.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that I make my wife and kids miserable because I'm miserable. So, yeah, that's one of the things that I took away from there, is that, hey, your depression, your anxiety is making your home life miserable, which is making your wife and kids miserable.
Yeah.
That's something that I know I need to work on.
Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, man, there's a couple loves in your life. One of them is podcasting. The other one is jiu-jitsu. Okay, bro? I'm telling you, man, jiu-jitsu is going to square you away. You're not going to be depressed anymore. You come home, like, I just got to make it to the 6:30 class, bro. All right? I'm not kidding, man. You're going to love it. In fact, I'm going to have my case manager find the nearest Gracie jiu-jitsu gym, and the professor's calling you.
Awesome. Let's do it. Man.
Hey, if I want to say something about you not enjoying holidays. It was the longest time that holidays, I don't want to say that I didn't enjoy them, but I definitely didn't enjoy them. You know what I mean? It was just, I think I realized that Christmas, like when I realized Christmas was coming, it was like, I don't know, maybe like 3 days out or something. You know what I mean? And then we had Christmas and then everything was done. It was just like Thanksgiving. It's here, it's gone. And it hasn't been since the last couple of years that we started. I was like, because I retired in 2020, and it took me like 2 to 3 years to finally like transition. I don't know how long it took you guys, but it took me like 2-3 years, just from being detached. I didn't know what new normal was. It took me 2 to 3 years. It just did. Some people it's a year. Me, it took me like 3 years. Anyway, so it was a couple of years ago, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna try to enjoy Christmas like starting December 1, because my daughter, she starts singing Christmas carols like in November, and I realized that she would start playing Christmas music like in July. You know what I'm saying? I'm not kidding. I'm seriously not kidding.
That's my wife.
Yeah, and and I was like, why are you playing that? Yeah, and one day I just embraced it, and something happened. all of a sudden I felt happy again. I'm going to tell you this like emotion called happiness. It's so foreign to me, but something's happened in the last couple of years where I'm starting to slow down, and you look around, it's just, you literally could stop the podcast, get up, walk around your house, and just capture these moments with your kids, your wife, your dog, and everything. Say, man, my life is good. And so I started listening to Christmas carols with my daughter. So now it's like my wife, this is, every year she's like, I can't handle more than one holiday at a time. So, so with Thanksgiving, nobody was allowed to sing Christmas carols or play music until Thanksgiving was gone, right? But this year was the first year that we convinced my wife, right? And I'm a part of it now, man. Like my daughter she took me over, bro. I'm like Christmas, and so we convinced her. I was like, honey, baby, can I ask you a question? Sweetheart, you do all this work for you decorate the house, you got to get everything from the attic, you take everything out, you decorate the house and outside, and then like literally just like a week or two later, hey, is that Julie? Oh, yes. Julie, listen, if you want that sleep number, maybe you just let her play the Christmas carols in July. Anyway, so I was telling my wife's like, you don't have to, what if you just did a little Thanksgiving, like a couple reads, and then we could just start dressing up the house with Christmas.
Where'd he go? We lost your mic.
Oh yeah. So, my bad. So we convinced my wife. Yeah, that was because I was getting all excited here. I was like, I convinced my wife that starting November 1, we'll start decorating the whole house with Christmas and just throw some Thanksgiving things on there, like a couple wreaths. And so we start playing Christmas music November 1. This year, my daughter and I are planning on starting October 1, bro. Man, it's going to drive my wife like bonkers. But check it out. Julie says, listen to us. Play this music. See? You can have the dang bed. Come on, man. Look at that. Come on. Listen, you have to play Christmas music in July. In fact, this is what we're going to have to do. July, you'll have me on, and we're playing Christmas music so that I can,
I'm going to be absent that day.
So I always tell her that because she wants to start November 1 with doing Christmas stuff. And I'm like, look, there's 3 holidays left. You got the Marine Corps birthday and Thanksgiving, and then what's the other holiday?
Veterans Day.
And Veterans Day, yeah. I said, oh, I had a brain fart there for a second. I was like, we can't celebrate Christmas until after Thanksgiving. So Christmas or Thanksgiving night, we bring the Christmas stuff up and we start putting Christmas up. So I don't know. She says, choose joy, choose happiness.
Choose happiness, choose Christmas. Listen, what Julie's trying to tell you is Thanksgiving's great, but why not have just another additional month of Christmas? Okay? Just something to chew on. All that work to put up the turkey stuff, all the decorations. Forget about it, man.
Yeah. We're gonna have a conversation after this, probably.
There's no probably about it. The conversation's happening. She's already got it written in there.
She said you can have the dang bed, bro.
I know, right? I got it.
You're gonna have to start buying inflatables now.
There you go. She says it. See?
You guys are my witnesses. We have it right, bro.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, I want to say thank you again because I know we're short on time here because of Reach Across America Radio. So this episode will be on Thursday night on at 11 p.m. there. But I want to say thank you again, not just for coming on here and talking about SOF Missions, but thank you again for extending the invite for Gunny and I to come down and experience what SOF Mission has to offer. Because I will tell you, it wasn't what I was expecting. And I've been around nonprofits for a really long time. And I will tell you, on a scale of 1 to 10, you guys at SOF Missions is a 15 compared to a lot of them. Because you guys, you're talking the talk, but you're also walking the walk. And that's where a lot of organizations are failing out there. They're not walking the walk with the veterans. They're just talking the talk. So I will, like I said, I will preach SOF Missions until I'm 6 feet dead, because that's how amazing your organization is.
Yeah, well, Willis, we really appreciate it. I want you to know that we're honored that both you and Sam were able to come, and hoping that you can continue to promote the great work that we're doing. I'd just like to kind of say for anyone out there, if you could just hear me just for a quick second. You're on this, you're listening to this podcast for a reason, and it could possibly be the first time. Maybe it's the 100th time, maybe it's the 1000th time, but man, I'm telling you right now that there's 3 guys here, Willis, Sam, myself. We deeply care about you. And you may say, man, you don't even know who I am. No, we do, because we wore the uniform. And it doesn't matter what your MOS was. It doesn't matter what you did in the military. When you took that oath, you became our brother and our sister, or whoever it is. And if you're hurting, man, let us help you. If you're hurting, man, give us a shot. You got Gunny, you got Willis, and they went through this program. And also know that 8 billion people in the whole world, and 1,000,000,000% God has a plan for you. He knows you by name. He's called you to do incredible things in this world, and he wants you to have peace, and he wants you to experience joy. So if you're hurting, man, give sofmissions.org a shot. And guys, thanks a lot for having me on. I really appreciate y'all, man. It really means a lot.
Hey, Damon, before you go, I know you got something coming up in April. You want to touch on that real quick?
Yeah. So if you, so we've got April 17th. We've got the Warrior Golf Classic right here over at the Saddlebrook Resort. Many of you know that they did like a revamp of the entire resort. It's amazing. Give it a shot. Come on over and play some golf with us. Sponsor the event. 100%, all the money goes straight into the veteran. 100%, every dollar goes into the veteran. And if you can't make it to the Warrior Golf Classic at Saddlebrook Resort, April 17th, hey, why not just sponsor a veteran? You know, do a foursome, and then we'll be able to give it to some of our warriors, because, hey, they like to play golf too. And sometimes they throw the clubs. Right, Willis?
Yes. Yes.
So good.
Hey, but I will tell you, once I got that glove, I didn't throw the club anymore after that. So something to say. But no, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart again for everything that you're doing for our brothers and sisters out there, and your staff. They are phenomenal. I'm surprised Gunny hasn't hit that button yet.
That's phenomenal.
So you guys are amazing. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. God bless you guys. Stay awesome. Keep podcasting, man. Appreciate just being on the show. And again, anyone out there that needs help, man, give sofmissions.org a shot.
Yes, sir.
Godspeed.
Godspeed, Semper Fi. Whew, how cool was that, Gunny?
Dude, I knew it was going to be. I mean, had the experience that we both had down there with SOF Missions, and what we experienced with the staff, the volunteers, the clinicians that came in. Man, it's amazing. I can't say anything else. It's truly at a loss for words for everything that they did for me down there. And I got to experience it with you and the 10 other guys, and to watch one guy talk about the first night that he's not a believer, that he doesn't, that he has no religious beliefs, he has no religious beliefs. And then when we graduated, we got invited up to do a small prayer, and he was the first one to stand up and approach.
Yeah.
That weekend changed all of our lives, but it truly impacted and changed him, because he opened up a lot from day one to the last day. And it was just amazing to see, the transformation in everybody that we were there with.
Yeah, it was so it was simply amazing. And for one, you and I, we've known each other for some years. I'm not going to say how many years, but we've known each other for some years. We met, on those yellow footprints, long time ago. And
it was in the 19s. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it was in the 1900s. Yeah. So, but anyway, so we've known each other for a really long time. And some of the stuff that you shared, I didn't even know. And I was like, man. So I can tell you that it is simply amazing. Check out sofmissions.org. You will not be disappointed if you go down to, whether you go to the retreat, whether you go to the clinic, whether you just get into the training portion. That's the 3 programs that they offer. Gunny and I went to the clinic. It's a 5-day thing. The retreat's a 3-day event, and then I think the training is online, maybe, or in person. I'm not really for sure.
And they have all ladies. They have, I think, 2 all lady clinics throughout the year.
Yeah, so go check out sofmissions.org. That's sofmissions.org. Go check them out. Go sign up to be a warrior. Go apply. If you're a donor out there and you want to support the mission of SOF Missions, go to their website, click on donate. And then if you want to, for the golf scramble that they got coming up on April the 17th, if you want to support a warrior, go donate to support a warrior so a veteran can go out and participate playing golf.
Or you can just, I think it's $100 and they'll make a sign that has your company logo on it and they'll stick it at one of the holes or throughout the golf course.
Sponsor one of the holes. Yeah, you can go sponsor one of the holes. So yeah, go check out sofmissions.org. Amazing organization. Can't say enough about everybody out there. So first off, she said, proud of you both for being willing to be vulnerable and honest. And then she goes, and Christmas starts in 136 days in the Willis house.
But you got to get your bed first.
Yeah, I got to get to bed first. All right, Gunny, I hope you're ready for what's coming.
Oof.
Hopefully you're ready.
Gunny's Words of Wisdom.
Blood makes you related, but loyalty, trust, and love makes you family.
It's so powerful. That's a lot of wisdom right there. Because we've talked about that numerous times. Blood makes you related, but loyalty, friendship,
loyalty, trust, and love
makes
you family.
That's so powerful. So powerful.
And, and especially after what we experienced last week, right? And, one of the steps of post-traumatic growth is newfound relationships or letting go of relationships that were toxic, right? And sometimes that toxicity comes from within your family. So you have to let that go. You just, it sucks. But if you want to heal and you want to be better, like I say all the time, surround yourself with people that are going to build you up, not tear you down.
Definitely. All right.
It's time for the joke of the day.
Joke of the day. How do different military branches use stars?
How do different military branches use?
You ready for the?
Yeah, hit me.
The Marines sleep under the stars. The Navy navigates by the stars. The Air Force chooses hotels by the stars.
Truth.
I thought
100%.
And Julie says you're dropping the good stuff, buddy. Oh God, I hate that word. That buddy word. Oh, I called her earlier today. I called Julie. I was on my way home from work. Just, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, I hate that. I hate that. But anyway, it is that time of night, Gunny.
Yep.
Let's take this off. Let's do this right here.
Yeah, everybody, I say it all the time, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I truly mean it. You're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. Don't let the dark days win. Surround yourself with people that are going to build you up and not tear you down. It's okay not to be okay. Just don't live in that spot.
In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You are not alone. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains. And together we heal, we rise, and we carry each other forward. And the key word there is together. Together we heal, together we rise, and together we carry each other forward. Be someone stranger. Listen, guys, ladies and gents, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So when you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, say, hey, how you doing? And if they give you the red flags, I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm living the dream, ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And be ready for that conversation, because it could be a 5-minute conversation, could be an 8-hour conversation. You have to be ready for that conversation. All right, Gunny.
Yeah, and it takes a village. Use your people. I mean, Willis and I got, between us, we have 11, 10 new people that we can use, plus the staff of SOF Missions if we need them. And, it doesn't take much. We all have, I can't say all, most of us have a social media account with a bunch of followers, friends, whatever have you. But we all have contacts in our cell phone. Pick up that cell phone, blindly scroll, hit the name, and wait for them to pick up. If they don't pick up, leave a message. Hey, buddy, just thinking about you today. Or, hey, hit me back. I need to talk.
Yeah.
They didn't answer. Do it again. Hit another name. Go until somebody picks up. Just have that conversation with somebody. Your voice might be all they needed to hear.
Yeah. So pick up your phone, reach out to somebody. And granted, listen, I know you're not going to be able to reach out to everybody, but reach out to somebody. And reach out to somebody different each day. Because you never know. Like Gunny said, you never know. Your voice might save that person's life on the other end of the phone. So just reach out to somebody. That's all you have to do, is be someone stranger today. Man, I'm going to give a big shout out to our partners. Let's take that. Oh, where is that one at? Why is it still up there? Where the hell did it go? Oh, it moved down here. Big shout out to heroesmediagroup.com. Adam Bird and his team there, HMG, are phenomenal. We've been part of the HMG family now for almost 2 years, maybe a little longer than that. But man, amazing organization. So go check out heroesmediagroup.com. Another big shout out to reeceacrossamerica.org/radio. I don't know why I'm tongue tied tonight, but go check them out. HomeFront Sitreps on there Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. So go check that. Go check out reeceacrossamerica.org/radio. Big shout out to sameflagsameoath.com. Matt and Becky Johnson, who are enjoying Mardi Gras right now down in Louisiana, New Orleans. But go check out sameflagsameoath.com. Small veteran-owned T-shirt company out in Katy, Texas, or outside of Katy, Texas. Man, they did. Uncle Sam is supporting our Marine It Down shirt. So go check it out. Go to co-branded. You can see that shirt there as well. Next up is Elite Engraving, small veteran-owned company here in Campbellsburg, Kentucky, up between Gunny and myself. Did our amazing hat that Gunny's holding up there. It's leather. It's a leather patch, and it's a Richardson 112 hat. It's an amazing hat. So go check out Elite Engraving 24.com. And then Valor Coins and Pins, Brent and Brian Casey, the grandsons of Herschel Woody Williams, who is a Marines Marine. They run Valor Coins and Pins, and what they do is proceeds go to the Woody Williams Foundation to put up the Gold Star monuments, which this is this side of what one would represent, and then this side here is what the other side looks. And they put this up wherever you want in your city. So go check out the Woody Williams Foundation as well. But check out Valor Coins and Pins and support their mission if you're looking to get coins made of any type.
Man, they can do coins, pins, poker chips. They can do medallions, medals. I mean, they can do a ton of stuff.
Yeah, so this is the HomeFront Sitrep coin here. That's the front of it. You see it's got Be Someone Stranger on there. The EGA is raised, so you can actually fill it. And then the back, and it's got hashtag we got your 6 over here. So yeah, go check out Valor Coins and Pins. RDC Shoe Company. Darren Davis is a Marine Corps veteran. Leo too, right? If I remember correctly. So go check out rdcshoes.com. They have the Patriot, and they also have the Glory. Then they have the Folds of Honor flag.
The Folds of Honor.
Well, so go check out rdcshoes.com. Then I want to give a big shout out to cavarts.org. It's Challenge America Veterans and the Arts. So if you love to play the guitar, if you love to do leatherworking, metalworking, whatever's considered art, you love painting, go check out cavarts.org. They have partnered with HomeFront Sitrep, and we get to teach the art of podcasting on that platform to help other veterans learn how to podcast and get over, the fear of talking into a microphone or looking into a camera. And I partnered with Triple Threat Vets and Oscar Mike Radio and the Misfit Nation on that to produce that for Challenge America. So go check out cavarts.org. But other than that, Gunny, I think that's it, right?
Who we got tomorrow?
So tomorrow we have, let me pull up my calendar here. So tomorrow we got Ben Red. He is a British veteran. I'm going to leave it at that. He's a British veteran. Come check out tomorrow's episode. It will be midnight his time. So he is taking time out of his sleep. I know Damon probably be upset that he's taking sleep time away, but he's going to come hang out with us for an hour tomorrow. So come back tomorrow, check out Ben Red, who is a British veteran. So come check us out tomorrow. But it is that time of night, my friend. Chris, you made a comment earlier about coming up to up north to where you're at in Wisconsin to go ice fishing. That's on Gunny and my list. We've already talked about it. So we're going to be reaching out and we're going to schedule something. That's for sure. Probably beginning of next year, right, Gunny?
I think February is when they do their event. So
yeah. So we're going to definitely be checking with you guys. And Ben, Brian Ball, I want to say thank you to Brian Ball. Gunny got his package before we left. I got my package when I returned back from Tampa. I will be supporting the hat and shirt tomorrow for Heroes Hunts for Veterans. So I'll be wearing that tomorrow. So big shout out to Brian Ball with Hero Hunts for Veterans. I can't wait to go up and meet those guys in person. So, it says sturgeon spearing is going on now, Gunny. It sounds like fun.
Yeah,
that sounds like fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, like we always say on HomeFront Sitrep. Oh, wrong page. Stay safe out there. We got your
sticky nuggies.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.